Before you even start playing the guitar, the first thing we have to look at is sitting with a guitar. So bad posture is going to lead to difficult playing and even more difficulty learning. So bad posture would be, for example, the guitar pointing downwards or leaning, anything of that sort of nature. So in this video we're going to try to avoid all of the pitfalls that come with sitting with a guitar for the first time, because it is a very unnatural seating position for your body to do. So I'm going to show you on an acoustic guitar because it is bigger up here, but the same thing applies to an electric guitar. So first things first, that curve of the body there, that's going to go over your right leg. If you're left-handed, you're obviously going to do that on your left leg. So right-handed players over the right leg like that. Then I'm going to keep it close to my body, but I'm not going to be pushing it against my body. So I'm going to turn like that. You'll see that's about the gap that I'm creating between my body and the guitar. So when I turn back like this, your right arm is sort of your anchoring and holding arm. So before we sit like this in order to play, we're just going to put our arm over the top like that, and we're going to lift the left hand off. So the left hand, your fretting hand, is not going to be doing any support for the instrument. All that the left hand is going to be doing is playing your notes and your chords. That's what the left hand is going to be doing. The right arm is the support for the guitar. So on an acoustic guitar, what we want to do is we would like to fold over, and in the fold of my elbow here, I'm going to be putting that over the body there, and then that's going to be holding the guitar for me. And now with my arm positioned like that, I'm going to turn again, and you can see the gap created there, but my elbow is pulling the top of the guitar closer to my chest. It's not pulled against it like very tightly, it's just resting there. So sitting like that, good way that you can measure this now. Just deaden the strings with this hand, don't push down, just lay the fingers there and strum. See if that's a comfortable movement. Strumming needs to come from the elbow down like that, so this part of the arm is strumming, and then a little bit of a wrist motion as well. So if we're able to freely move the elbow, we are good to go. Another thing to avoid when sitting like this is to make sure that the guitar is not dipping down. That would then put your arm at an unnatural position and make it a little bit uncomfortable to hold the guitar like this. So if we lift the guitar up to the point where we can properly place the elbow in, you'll see that the neck is either going to be straight or angling upwards a little bit. That's what we want. So with a straight neck or a slight angle, we're going to be able to play chords without bending the wrist to a crazy degree. So you'll see now if I angle it downwards, in order to play a chord, look at the bend that my wrist is doing. So I'm just going to keep that same chord down and then move the guitar to a comfortable position, and you can see automatically my wrist just bent back into a more comfortable position for me to hold. So that way we're also avoiding strain, but at the same time we are having good seating technique in order to actually play the notes through and proper. Another thing we need to look at is going to be the elbow. So freedom of movement in the elbow. One thing we don't want is for the elbow to be resting. That's going to force a lot of the movement onto the forearm and the wrist, and those are things we want to avoid. So again, having a straight guitar against the body, we want the elbow to be able to move freely. So don't pull it into the body like that, just let it rest. So essentially what you want to do is you can hold onto the guitar like this and then just hang the arm. So with the arm hanging, you now have a good idea, like this here is all relaxed, you have a good idea of how the guitar should be held, then you can just reposition to play chords with that same motion. Again, I'm going to lift my fretting hand off and the guitar stays stable, because this hand is not doing any holding, it's just playing notes. So I'll give you a visual example of why the elbow can be free or should be free. That if I'm playing here, you can see the gap created between my elbow and my body, and then as I move up, you can gradually see that gap closing. So my entire arm is going to be responsible for that movement. I don't want that movement to just come from the forearm. So with my elbow stuck to my body like this, you can see the difficulty my wrist is going to experience as I move. That's something we absolutely want to avoid. So you can see the curve in my wrist happening here with my elbow position there. Now look at the difference in curving in the wrist with just a free elbow. There is no curvature, because in this movement, as I move upwards, you can see my elbow moving backwards. So that kind of movement is also happening, and that happens naturally. So just like that, no bend in the wrist, elbows moving freely, able to sit comfortably. So again, just to go over the key points, we would like the neck to be either straight or angling upwards a little bit. That there is the kind of distance between the body and the guitar. Can rest it here, that's totally okay, that's a normal thing to do. And then also a free elbow here, not attached to anything. And then one more thing that we should go over is, it's going to be natural for you to want to see the notes that you're playing, but don't angle the guitar backwards in order to see where your fingers are going. And also try not to lean forward too much, because leaning forward also pushes the guitar into odd positions. You're definitely going to want to lean to see the notes, and that's completely fair, especially when you start out. You're not too sure where the fingers need to go yet. Just try to position your fingers, look where they need to go, position them, and then return to an upright position so we can sit comfortably and then play it. Don't stay in that bent over position like that, trying to see the notes all the time. You are definitely going to cause some discomfort and some pain.